Hi guys, this is Allison Prior. I'm going to teach you a new painting. This is not the painting that we're going to do today, but it's going to be one similar to this. So the painting is for you to learn how to paint snow and some snow-covered trees, and a nice little rocky, what would you call that? A lake. And so we won't do this one exactly like this, but we will try to get into snow so you can learn how to do the snow and the clouds. Okay, so I'll put that one away. Sorry to tease you. So if you're new to my videos, I do videos step by step, and I do a series of videos until you get a full painting finished. Hope my head wasn't in the way. So when we get started, we'll do step by step. We'll do lesson 1 up to around 7 or 8, maybe even 10, however many lessons it takes to do your painting. And this one we're going to concentrate on today is snow and snow-covered trees. And I'm just going to make it simple for you, because a lot of people who are looking at my videos are beginners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some green tape on, which is your painter's tape. You get that at any dollar store or any store at all. And I'm going to put it on about, I would say here, because we want to have lots of room for our snow. So let's just put that on there. Okay, I'm doing it in landscape. This is portrait and this is landscape. So we'll do it in landscape today. We'll do one in portrait probably next video. You can let me know what you'd like to do. And what I'm going to do today is we're going to be doing a sky again. So I want, every time I do a sky, I try to show you different ways of doing it, different techniques, so you can learn something new every time you look at my paintings, my painting lessons. So what I'm going to do is I am going to get you to get a bit of chalk. I tried pencil, but the pencil marks came through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to draw a space for your big thick cloud that you saw there in mine. Okay, so just do that for a bit of fun. I think I speak a bit funny sometimes, but anyway, so just get a flat brush, flat Bristle brush, probably around this size, and then what we're going to do is we are going to, first of all, we're going to put on some white paint. Okay, so we'll just put on some white paint first. Alright, there we go, white paint. Now you can put on some blue paint. So I just put blue and white on my palette. There we go, that's all. And I'm putting some blue in there. That way you get some white coming through the blue. And I almost got some clouds. Isn't that pretty? And put some white on the other side. Doesn't matter where you start. I'm just going to have some fun. Let's put some white on. There we go. White. And then blue. Okay? And you can see how the white and the blue sort of separates from each other, and then you end up with this really nice sky. So I want to show you something else. In my last video I said if the paint starts to dry, you just add some more white paint. Well, you can also add a little bit of spray, a little bit. This is like it says coconut lime body mist. I emptied it, or when it was empty I put water in it. So I'm going to mist my sky just a little bit, probably 1, 2, and that mist then will help you blend without having to worry about it getting dry. Just a little mist, and then you can just let it all go together and it won't dry so fast on you. Okay, you can also use blending gels to slow down the drying, but I kind of like it this way too, so any which way is good. Alright, so more white paint on your flat Bristle brush, white. Okay, and now some blue. Good. And now let's try a little bit of water and see what happens. Oop. Just a little bit, and then you can come down to the bottom and see how that leaves nice, smooth, soft. I didn't tell you in the other videos that if you got a canvas like this, a stretch canvas, and it got sides to it where you can hang it up like that, Then you could paint the sides to make it look like a wraparound canvas. So then you start painting the sides and the top. Just throw on the blue and the white. You can do that now, or you can do it after you're all finished. Just tap on your blue and white. Don't have to be fussy because it's only on the sides, and it looks really nice. I'll show you. Just watch this. See, this painting here goes all around the sides. See that? Around the top. There we go. So I just tap it on the sides just to match up with what you already have. So you get some trees, you can go right around the side with the trees. See? Cool. Now, oopsie daisies. Here we go. Hope my head didn't get in the way again. There we go. Okay, so now, because I was away from the canvas, there's a possibility that's probably going to dry a little bit. So what do? We mist it. There we go, see? Mist. Now, if you do too much water, you can see it might run, or it might thin up the paint to the point where the canvas starts to come through. So just do it only if you really need to. So you put some white paint. But I'm going to use it in this painting just so I can show you that little technique, because I want to show you as many tips and tricks as I can, so you can use them and learn and have some fun, and we don't want painting to be too hard for you, especially when you're a beginner or you've only been painting for a little while. I've been painting for over 10 years and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find, I still look at videos, I still practice, so you'll always be learning. So I'm going to add a little bit of mist there, and that's very nice. See? Okay, so you fill all that in. So just fill in a bit of white paint up here around that spot where you're going to make your big cloud. Okay, mist if you need it. And see how that keeps it really nice, and there we go. Good. Good job. Might want to blend it a bit more there, but I'm going to start putting in my cloud. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to my white, so we can yellow it up a little bit, just to add some color. So you might get a little hint of a greenish color, which gives it a nice one. We add a teeny weeny bit of blue just to green it up a little bit. See, a teeny weeny bit of blue. Okay, so white and yellow. Alrighty then. So that big hole there that you left out, just start tapping at the top and move your brush around. And move your brush around. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so let's get some more on there. Tap, 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 tap. That's the easiest way to do this. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, look, see how nice and fluffy that looks already? Tap, 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 tap. Punch, 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 punch. Good. See that nice big fluffy cloud. I'm going to need some more white. I'm not finished with it yet, so if it looks flat or it's not, doesn't seem like it's coming out the way you'd like it, just keep tap, 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 tap. Okay? Put a little bit of yellow. A little bit of yellow and a little bit of teeny weeny bit of blue, just to give it a little greenish look to it. Okay? Little bit. If you add too much, just move away from that spot that you made. If that's too much, just move away from that and move over to another spot. Add more white, okay? So, hopefully that helps. So tap, 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 tap. You can come outside those lines there if you know, you can move it around a little bit if you like. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Now, so all you got to do now is highlight the tops, just the top. Tap, 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 tap on the top. See, and that gives a little bit of a fluffy look there. Now when that dries a little, we'll probably come back and highlight that a bit more. But move your brush over a little bit just to give it some nice... Now we're probably going to cover up a lot of this with the trees. But that's okay. Let's just move our brush around and have some fun so you can get used to the tapping. Tap, 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 tap. And some nice little clouds in the sky. You got any leftover paint on your brush? You can also just make a couple little round circles and make a couple of small little clouds in the background. They don't have to be very bright or anything because they're in the back. They're in the back. Way, way back. Way, way back there. Way back. You can barely see them. They're just floating around in the sky back there. That's just leftover paint on your brush, okay? So just the leftover paint on your brush, just float them around the sky, just little circles, and you'll get these cute little clouds floating around in the sky. That's all, just leftover paint. No need to make them big or stand out too much. Just want to leave them out there floating around. Perfect. So you play with your sky and you go ahead and practice that, and I don't want to do the videos too long each time because I don't want you to get confused. So we'll work at one piece at a time. So what I want to do before I go is I want to highlight those clouds again, okay? And just at the very, very top, tap, 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 go around the very tops. And if it doesn't highlight good enough for you, we'll wait for it to dry and then we'll do it again. So we just tap again, tap, 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 tap. Good. Got my brush held on the horizontal chiseled side. Doesn't matter, you do it this way, it's okay. Whatever way works for you. I kind of like using this way, okay? So, touch and pull. Touch and pull, touch and pull. Touch and pull. Here we go. Touch and pull. Perfect. And that's some highlights. That's not the final highlight, but that's basically how you do your snow. Alright. And what you're going to do now is you're going to need some black paint. So we're going to do our trees. Oh, that's a funny sound. So I got black. And I might add a little bit of green just to, I don't know, just to give it a little bit of punch. A little bit of green. Okay? Now the trees are going to be at the top of the snow, going into the sky. So what we'll do is we'll take our big old flat brush again. As you'll notice, I use a flat Bristle brush. This one here. I use these flat brushes. I find them easy. You can use whatever brushes that you find helps you. You can try all different types of brushes. So I'm just tapping into black and tapping into green. Black, but more black than green. Okay. So all I'm going to do now to make a tree is I'm going to touch up here. Touch. So that you get a little top. So there's your little top there. See that? So when you touch that up there like that, then that's the brush is now vertical. Okay, it's like that. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around like this, and then I'm going to tap on the tree, the big tree. I'm just going back and forth. Okay, and then you can fix it up where you think it needs it. But if you get that little top up there, it makes it look like a tree. So I'm going to tap into some green, tap into some black. I'm going to flip my brush this way, the narrow side, and I'm going to put another tree next to it. Maybe something a little bit shorter. Touch. So you got your top. And then you're going to flip your brush around to the horizontal and tap back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you got another tree. There we go. Don't worry about it going down in the snow because that's going to be fine. Okay, so we have different sized trees. So we'll add on some more black and some more green. You can barely see the green, but that's okay. So flip your brush around again to the vertical. Maybe make a shorter one here. So there's your top. flip your brush around horizontal and tap, 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 tap. Back and forth, back and forth. Good, look at those little trees, aren't they cool? Let's do another one, let's do some small ones. Okay, I'm just tapping on here. So there we flip our brush around again to vertical, tap, and then flip it around to horizontal, tap back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So another one. So now we're going to make them a little bit smaller. So when we come closer to your little river or lake, you're going to have the trees coming down. So let's go a little smaller. So get your top. So that's vertical, now horizontal, back and forth, back and forth. There we go. And we make another one, small. We get. Now you can make your trees whatever way you want to. Okay. There we go. I'm going to throw a couple little ones in between just to say there might be some trees. So let's get some black and some green. And we got vertical, horizontal. Okay. Now let's stay horizontal and just move in a little bit towards the lake to make it look like, and then just flip up a few little trees there. Okay, just flip them up, just touch, push, touch and push up. Okay, now they'll come to life when we put snow on them. So why don't we do some more on the other side? So tap into your black, bit of green, black. So now you got vertical. Might maybe have a bigger one up here, so we'll just tap your big top of your tree, then flip around to horizontal, and then back and forth, back and forth. Okay, there we go. Like I say, if they look funny to you or they don't look right, don't worry about it, because we'll be straightening them up with snow. Okay, let's make a couple more. Let's make a smaller one right here. Alright, so vertical, horizontal. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There we go. Good. We'll make them smaller as we go in towards your lake. A couple of right here, one there, back and forth. Alright. Like I said, that'll be all straightened up with snow, and they'll come to life. Another one here, vertical, tap, horizontal, tap. Good. Now I don't know if you want to go all the way down to your lake, it's up to you. I'm going to throw a few in there. Okay, so I'm just going to, what I'm going to do now, because they're so small, I'm just going to tap on the horizontal brush part. Now I'm going to flip up to vertical and put a few little tops in there. Okay, a little bit messy looking, but that's fine. Maybe we might want to put them in there. So if you find too many holes, just fill them in. So it looks like we got a few trees. Now you need to fix up a few tops. You go right ahead. It's only a matter of turning your brush this way, which is vertical, horizontal, vertical. Okay, so vertical. Get a few more tops there. Okay, looks like there's some trees in the background there. See? You can punch them in. Just punch them in. Punch, 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 punch. See? That gives you some tops. Perfect. Hopefully that helps now. Don't confuse you or anything. But if you start off the way I did, then after you get it all done, then you can flip it up vertical and start punch. Just punch on top there and get a few little background trees and a few little tops trees that you already put in. Don't worry about the mess on the bottom. So we got some trees. Good. Now we don't want to put snow on them yet because they're wet, so the black will only just mix in with the white and it won't look very good. So what we'll do while we're waiting for that, we'll clean off our brush. Why don't we clean it really good? Just tap, 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 right down into your bottle. Take the brush and punch the bottom of the bottle like you're trying to hit the bottom of the bottle, and that will take all the paint right off your brush. Because if you just swish it around, the paint will stay on your brush. Now, so we'll take some white paint. So get some more white paint. Like I said, you're going to need a lot of white paint because of the snow. Alright. Now, we're going to use these for shadows. See, that's okay if they end up getting into your snow. So, won't worry about it. Just pull them into the snow. We'll just use that for shadows. See? Shadow, shadow. There we go. Now we won't leave it exactly like that. That's just there for an underpainting. So now what we'll do is go into our white. Go into your white. And underneath the trees, pull in some white. That make it look like the snow is inside the trees. Just pull, 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 pull. White. Dip into white. And touch and pull. Pull, 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 touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull. And then just move it down into your snow. Okay, because your brush don't have much snow, white on it now, so you just pull it right into your snow. Good. And we'll do the other side. Like I said, this is not all the highlights. I'm just showing you, getting it started. So up under this tree, let's pull, touch and 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 pull, flick, flick, flick. Alright. Up under your trees, touch, pull, get some of that snow in there. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull, touch, pull. Boop, boop. Good. And then what's left over on your brush, you just pull it right into the rest of the snow. There we go. Your little lake in there. Get that done. Okay. Pretty simple. We're just going to go simple by putting in just pure black. Don't need to add any other colors right now. Just keep this here as our little lake. There we go. Now, if you want to see the painting, the original painting, we're not going by the one I showed you in the very first video, but it gives you some idea what we're trying to accomplish. You can do the same painting several times, and they'll always be different. Very difficult to do the same painting exactly the same way twice. Things change, colors change, your hand movements change. Okay, the back behind there. We'll fill that in after with some snow or something. Okay, pretty simple. There's your little lake getting ready for whatever else we're going to put in there. Now, why don't we try a bit of snow on our trees to brighten them up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white paint and a bit of blue. I want to blue it up a little bit because I don't want the snow just hopping out and just jumping at you. So take your tree now. In your mind's eye, imagine that the branches are to the right, okay? And just gently tap back and forth a little bit on top of those branches that you have to imagine just to get that shape of the tree. Or you could just tap. If you're too worried, don't go getting too fussy. Don't worry about it. Just tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. But make sure you separate those taps so that you can see the black. And that way, it's the same motion as you did when you did your trees in the beginning. You just go back and forth and back and forth. And you have your brush on the horizontal. So just pretend you're doing your trees again. That's all. You already have your tops. So we'll just go back and forth like that. There we go. And that gives you trees. And you're leaving the black in between. Can you see that? Hope you can. Okay. So, like I said, I want to have kind of a bluish color too. I add a bit of blue to my white. I add a little bit of blue to my white right there. And then just touch and tap back and forth. Back and forth. just the same way you did your trees before. Back and forth, back and forth. Tap, 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 back and forth. See? And you get some really nice little trees there. Give some shape to your trees. If you fool up, for some reason you just do too much white and you can't see your trees anymore, you can't see the black part, go back in with black. When it dries, start over. Just go back with black, go back and forth, or just fill in with black. So, I don't want to get too complicated for you. So just get some more white and a little bit of blue. We'll start the other side. Okay? So now, take your tree and tap. Oh, see, now I got too much. Gentle, gently, 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 gently. Oh, for some reason it's all coming off in blobs. Okay, well, let's go. Let's keep going. There we go. Tap, 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 back and forth, and separate them so that you still got your black left. Good, that's one tree. Almost looks like two. This is how it shapes up your trees. I think I see another one here. Tap, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Tap another tree right here. Look at that tree. It's a pretty tree. Look at that. See, it brings it out. It gets the shape. Now, there's another tree right here behind that tree. Tap it in. Tap it in. Back and forth. Go on to your next one. As long as you keep that black, just tap back and forth, and you got some of that black coming through, you got some nice little trees. Isn't that easy? I think I'm going to leave that with you. I don't think there's much more that I can do on that. So, we got a little bit more time here. I just want to finish. See these? They're so nice, aren't they? Right? They're nice. Okay, so you play with those trees until you get them right. And then we'll come back and we'll spend some time on our little lake. We'll be adding some rocks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to paint rocks underwater. You even just touch if you want. And as long as they look like they're little rocks, keep some, you can overlap some of them. Put some on top of each other to make it look like there's lots of rocks there. And then when you need more paint, just go in and get... I'm wiping off my brush because I want to flatten it out again, because when you're doing this, your brush... almost goes round on you. So black and white. Black on one side, white on the other. Okay? And just touch and pull, touch and pull. If you got too much, just wipe off some of that white. That's all. Touch and pull. See? Just like that. Touch and pull. And you get those rocks, they're going to be underwater, so you don't have to worry about them, what way they look too perfect right now. So we will, when we get the rocks on top of the water, we'll make it look a little more rocky. So just touch and pull. Look, I'm even going over some of the ones I already did, okay? And that'll give it kind of like a... There we go. And that'll give it like there's lots of rocks there. So reload if you have to. Touch and pull. See little rocks coming out? See that? See? Maybe I'll have to close it up for you a little bit. See her coming out? So I'll even put some over what I already have there. I'm going to reload. And then I'm going to touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. See, I'm going over some of the ones I already did. Okay. Because they're underwater, I'm not going to really worry about how perfect they are. Alright, so we'll do those, and then I'll go to the next video probably, because I don't want to take up too much time on this video. Now, just keep going with the rocks. Touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. Touch, flip it over. Okay, they can be going to the right or to the left. It doesn't matter because they're only rocks just sitting underneath the bank of water, and every which way. So whenever you need to reload, just put some more white on one side and black on the other. Just touch and pull. Whoopsie, I got too much. So that happens to me too. Not to worry. I'll just go back with black and some white. And I'll start somewhere else for now. There we go. And I'm just going to go back over that. Now that big old blob there, I got to get rid of that. That'll torment me if I leave that there. Just like it does with you. You know. So what I'll do is I'll just take some black and put it in there and get rid of it. There we go. See? So simple. So black on one side and white on the other. Touch and pull. See all these little rocks? And if you don't touch as hard, you get these little tiny ones. See? Can you see that? You get these little teeny weeny ones if you just touch a little bit. Just don't make your stroke as long. Because this video now is about how to put them under the water. Because the video before this, I started off with the rocks. And I was getting ready to put them underwater, but I was afraid to run out of time. So I'm going to take my, this video here. I'm just putting in a few little more rocks just for a bit of fun. Just so to make sure you can see all this. Okay, a few little rocks. Now, this has to be dry, so it won't be long drying. So while we're waiting for it to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to make a glaze. I don't know if I showed you a glaze yet. I don't think I did. And you just take your spray bottle. Remember I told you about the spray bottle? And just take your water, and you're going to put water in here. And you're going to put a fair bit in there because we want the paint to be see-through. And I'm going to put some blue paint in there with a flat brush, and just a small flat brush like this. That's the one we're going to use to get the glaze on there. And you're going to take a tap of blue. See? Not very much. Look, see how watery that looks? Now you may have to add more water, take away more water. You may have to do this on another canvas to practice it first before you go on top of your final painting. Okay, I always try to stress that, you know, practice first on some watercolor paper, or say if you want to do rocks under in your lake, just make a small little black lake and throw some rocks in there. Just see until you get the technique down. You only need to do it for a little while and a few rocks, and once you get it, then go right into your canvas. So I'm going to try this here. I just put a little tab of blue in with lots of water, and you can see that it's pretty watery, and you can see through it. And then you can start wherever you want. I'm going to start down here and hope that some of the paint is still not dry, so I'm a bit anxious. So I'm just putting that over on top of the rocks that we just did. So make sure yours is dry first, because that will make it look better. Alright, see how the water's making it look underwater? See, there we go. So blue. And because my paint was wet, I should have dried it, sorry about that. I ended up with a grayish color, so that's okay, as long as you get that glaze on top of those rocks. That will make it look like it's underwater. Okay, there we go. Now, if that glaze is not strong enough, add a little bit more paint, just a tap of paint into that again. That will thicken it up a small bit. Okay, and then you can have a thicker glaze, and that will get them underwater even more. As you can see, the water is running, and that's going to happen. So let's get them underwater best way we can. Don't worry about them up there too much. We'll probably put some snow up there. But down here we want to get those rocks underwater. Okay, now, like I said, this is a technique that you'll have to, you can let that dry and do this again. Because I'm doing a video, I'm not going to fool around with trying to dry it and everything. So I'm just going to thicken up my glaze a little bit. But what I want you to do is dry your paint. Once you get your first glaze on, dry it, and then put another glaze on, and dry it, and put another glaze on until you're happy with your rocks being underwater. So I just thickened mine up a little bit there, just so I can show you, if you did a glaze several times, you know, how thick it will get. to look. See, so the more you put on, the more underwater they look. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it doesn't confuse you, or, you know, like, once you do it yourself, then you can judge how much water you want on top of those rocks, okay? I'm just going to try one more little bit of paint. I don't want to cover them up completely, but I do want to show you that your final glaze will be, you know, thicker. See? See that? There we go. So you can either do one glaze thickly with more paint, or you can do several glazes of very thin paint. I prefer to do the glazes several, because right now where I'm doing the video, I'm just trying to show you the final outlook, and it's very wet. So, but you can see the difference, okay? And that's going to be different again. I'm going to leave that at that one there, and that's going to be different again because now we got to add more rocks, and we got to add some water streams, water lines, like this one over here. Okay, see, so I put them underwater like I just did then. I put those rocks underwater, and then I put the big rocks on the sides, and then we made some water lines, and that came over the rocks and made them look like they're even more underwater. So let's do that now. See how far we can get now before I have to cut off this video. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get your flat brush, so it's sort of medium, and I'm going to put some let's go with a blue, some blue and some white. Okay, and mix two of them together so we can get a nice bluish highlight, okay, because we're in the winter and want things to look. And then you can put the black underneath for your shadow. So light blue on top and black on the bottom, and then the same technique, you just take some areas on the snow and touch over and down. Now you're getting your bigger rock, see that? Touch over and down, fill in the bottom, touch, and you can have a smaller one there, you can have one up here. Let's get them in the river though, because we want to make those water lines. Touch over and down. If you need more paint, light blue on one side, okay, light blue on one side and black on the other. Alright, this one here came out funny, so I'm just going to redo it. See how easy it is? Look, touch over and down. Okay, if the highlight is not light enough, just take some more light blue, touch over and down. There we go. Touch over and down. So half on the snow and half in the river. Alright, so we'll keep doing a few of those, and then I'm going to come back, and I think I'm going to do these for a few minutes, and then I'm going to come back and do the water lines to make it look like they're in the water, and the rocks are more underwater than what they are there. Okay, so we'll do a few more of these rocks. If they don't come out the way you want them, just go back over them again. Okay, and I'll get some more white. So you need white and blue on one side, and on the other side you need black, and then you put them on there. Okay, touch over and down, touch over and down. If for some reason we can't get the highlights, we'll put them on after. I'm just going to get these rocks in here for you now. A couple around here, here, here where I made the mess. See, so where you made the mess, it don't matter because we're going to be going back over all that. We're doing all our touch-ups. Add a few more little bushes. So what I'm doing is I'm tapping into some black and a little bit of green, just to give a little bounce. And then we'll throw in some bushes probably right here. So all you gotta do is tap, 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 tap. And start up here, because then you can decide where you want your bushes to start. And then we can fill up this whole corner here with bushes if you like. Okay, so just get some more paint when you run out. And fill it all in. It's okay if it's just black. You want to keep adding a bit of green just to give it some little bit of texture there, then you'll be able to see what where some of the bushes are, but it doesn't matter right now because we'll be doing that after. So just fill that at the corner up there with some bushes, and you can go over your lake a little bit if you like, and then we'll just keep tapping that in there until you get the shape you're looking for. You want a bit more up here, just tap in some of these up here, just very gently. Get some of those going up there like that, so you can just tap very gently, and that'll give you some little bushes from behind the big thicker bushes. Okay, just move your brush around a little bit there. There we go. Good. And we can add a few more bushes. Now you can have anywhere you want. You can have some over in this corner here if you like. Maybe we can just put a couple coming down this little hill here. See, I'm barely touching the canvas, so I can get those nice little skinny ones and see-through ones, okay? And just move it around. Be a little bush there. And we'll shape them up as we go along. So you can have one there, and you can have one here, wherever you want them, and as big as you want it, okay? Like I said, this is your painting, so don't you worry. Don't you worry, be happy. Now, so that's the start of that. So now what we'll do now is, when that dries a little bit, while we're waiting for that to dry, that was just a flat brush, by the way. I think I told you. Flat brush. And it wasn't a huge flat brush. It was just that size. It must be about 1/4 of an inch or so, or maybe size 8. But anyway, so why don't we go back to decorating our little rocks there, and then we can finish this painting as we go along. So we're just doing finishing touches now and trying to make it look nice. And we'll just put a few highlights on the rocks. So I would say put some blue on your palette and some white. And take some the black for our lake and finish that up around the little trees up here. So let's just bring that up behind the trees like we started, so that it looks like it's going in behind there somewhere. Okay, so it's gone way in behind there. There we go. And now when we highlight those trees, we can put some snow around that area. And so let's highlight our rocks. So take some blue paint. Put some blue paint and some white. Make it a bluish white color, like a really light blue. And then just finish up these rocks here. So just get them till you're happy with them. And you can put some black on one side to get that shadow back, and your light blue on the other side. And then do your touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull, touch and pull. There we go. We'll do some highlights on. Just go back in with your blue and white for your highlight on the top. Okay, and you get some nice little rocks moving around there. Just highlight them. Okay, so as we continue on with, you can even put in some extra ones if you like. So put black on one side and your light blue on the other side. You can add a few more rocks if you want. Let's add a few more little tiny ones. There we go, look at that. Little tiny rocks on the edge, in front of that one, in front of that one. Yes, they're all over the place. I think I'll put a bunch of them in here while I got going, because I'm waiting for the other paint to dry. But I'm just trying to show you that you can put in as many rocks as you want. Put tons of them in. It's a real old rocky place. So we'll get our blue, light blue on one side and black on the other of your brush, and make as many rocks as you want. And it's good practice, even if you got too many, or just put them in there, have some fun with them. There we go. Let's reload when you start running out. You can put one in front of that one. One there, one there, one there, one there. Yep. Highlight it. Oops. Okay. Another one here. Another one here in front of the bushes. Bunch. Now these are the ones that are on top of your. They're on top of your water. Okay, so these are not the ones underneath. These are now being added to the top of the water. So you can put them even inside here, even on top of the water in the middle. Okay, you can put rocks. So don't forget, if you have to go back over it again, it's okay. Okay, so there's a rock there, another little one there, another little one there, there, and there. Okay, so I'm getting carried away with all the rocks. I can't help it, I love doing rocks. So anyway, I think we should be okay with that. A little bit of snow. A little bit of snow on top of some of them. Just a little touch, a little peck. Look, you just touch it on like that. You don't even have to do anything elaborate. Just throw a little bit of snow on top of your rocks. Here we go. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to highlight our bushes, and we are going to finish off this painting, I hope. Okay, I got snow everywhere. I better leave it alone. Okay, so just spread it out a little bit because I don't want just lumps of snow, because then it won't look like a rock anymore if I do that. So you guys just put your little bit of snow on top of your rocks, just to have a little bit of snow there. Okay, so what you're going to do now is very good. I have to smooth them out a little bit. When you're doing a video, it's kind of hard to say, okay, well, do it this way, and then if it doesn't come out right, it's hard to say, well, we'll stop the video and I'll fix it, or so all I can do is just fix it while I'm talking to you. And so, and you can also see that even people who are used to painting can have a hard time with their paints and have to fix it and refix it. And because some people out there say, what's wrong with me? How come I can't get it done? How come I can't paint like that? Because everybody has to keep going over their paintings till they get it the way they want it. I mean, I can see here that I would love to go back in and do lots of touch-ups, but I'm not going to do it right now while I'm doing the video, but I might do it later. But anyway, that's just little pointers and tips for you, let you know that we're all in the same boat. So what we're going to do now is we are going to highlight these nice little bushes that we made right here. So the paint's pretty well dry now. See how fast it dries? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap into some blue and some white. Some blue and some white, because I don't want it to be pure white. So I'm just tapping into some blue and some white. And I am putting that on the brush, and I'm going to be careful, very careful. I'm going to try and spread them open a little bit. You can do that before you put the paint down. Spread them open, that way then it won't go as globs. And if you make your touch really gentle first, just be gentle first, because you can always go back and add more. Just touch, touch, tap, 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 touch, tap, touch, tap, touch. And just get those tops on first, right here. And then you work around. So let's go and get some more paint. Okay, whoops. Alrighty then, so let's go back and get some more paint so we can bring it out. If you got patience, you don't have to get you can go back over it a couple times till you get to, get more paint on there. I'd rather start off with too little than too much, because it's easier to fix. And then you can just skip down a little bit and put another little bush right here. Okay, so see the blackness in between? So that'll give you your little bush down here. It'll separate it. And then you'll put another one probably here. Just tap on some of those whites, a little bit of blue, another one here, and let's try another one. Just tapping into my paint so I can get some more paint on there. but I'm not pushing very hard. See, I pushed a little bit hard there and I got a blob. So be careful with that. Okay, and I'm just going around the rocks a little bit there. Oops, okay, same thing. So that's okay. Keep touching, touch, 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 touch. Okay, so we keep doing that till you get on your tap into your white and then just tap it off. Tap, 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 tap. And so you move around a little bit. As long as there's not too much paint on your... Now wipe off some of your paint. That way you can move around a little bit. And that way you still see your black, but you're also making the bushes a little more bushier. So there we go. So that's not too bad. You can always add more to it if you want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe my brush off in my tissue. Okay? And I'm going to wipe and wipe and wipe. And I'm going to try and spread out those. Now you might be able to get a brush that has all the bristles spread out. Okay? So if you can get a bristle with the bushes spread out, that will be good. It's a tongue twister. You get the bristles, you get the bushes, and there we go. So, you know, like if you could get like this one here, I'll tell you now, this one here, look, see that? This is a great little brush. It's only a brush, a house painting brush, but it's got the same bristles on it, but it opens up really nice. See that? So I'm going to dip that into my paint here now and see what kind of results we get from that. Just to show you the difference. See? It just gives these nice shapes. Okay, so you can use that brush too. So we'll try that now with the other bushes over here. Sometimes a little bit too big for these, so I'm going to turn it this way. Okay, so I'd rather use the other brush, but this is good for big bushes, and I'll show you how to use them for flowers too next time. So I'm going to go back to my flat brush again. I'm going to wipe it off, and I'm going to spread the bristles as far as I can. Not too bad. And then I'm going to dip into my white, dip into my blue, and then I'm going to tap on the tops of these. Tap, 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 tap. Okay, so a little bit of just tapping into my white, getting some blue going on there. Take the old tape off. Okay, and try that again. Tap, 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 tap. All right, tap, 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 on the top, just on the top, and some will come down on the bottom there, just on the top. Good. How about up here where we got those little bushes up here? Tap. Oh, doesn't want to work for me up there. Tap, 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 tap. What's going on? Tap, 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 tap. Okay, there we go. All right, so now let's take our brush and clean it really good. Throw on a few more highlights on our snow, okay? So we'll brighten up our snow a little bit and have some nice little snow. So now we'll take our brush and we'll add some highlights to our snow. So just white, and I'm just going up here to bring down some white. So I'm just putting some white on both sides of the brush so I'll have lots of white to work with. And then I'm just going to go up here again. I'm just going to bring down some snow. I'm not going to fill in all my snow. I'm just going to bring down some snow from the top down. Probably bring a little bit in towards the rocks a little bit. And a little bit up here. And down here. Down in between the rocks. I'm still leaving some space for my shadows. I'm just scrubbing on a little bit of extra snow. Okay, just to brighten it up a little bit. Not too much. Just want to clean it up and make it look a little brighter. But there's lots of different ways to do this. So if you find that you're happy with this, then you can leave it. As long as you get some shadows in your snow. Now it's nice and bright there now. Same with over on this side. Doop, doop, doop. Bring down some snow. Bring down some snow into your little... If you need to use a smaller brush, go ahead and get a smaller flat brush. Down behind your rocks. Just to clean it up a little bit. This is your final... This is your final details, okay? Your final details. And we're almost finished. I'm just going to add a few little twigs, and then I'm going to call this one finished, okay? Now there's lots of stuff you can add to. You can do whatever you want. Just bring it down behind here. Okay. So, behind your rocks. Up here underneath this so that you can get rid of all that old blackness there, so make it look like it's in with the snow. Okay, and down under here so you get that under the snow. Good. And more snow and more snow. You can have as much snow as you want, just leave some shadows. That's all you have to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do some twigs, and I'm going to call it finished. Okay, so all we have to do is take our liner brush, and we will take this brush here. This is a liner, script liner brush, and you make it wet. You don't have to make it soaking wet, just tap it off a little bit, and you put some brown on one side of your liner brush and white on the other. And then you pull out some of these nice little twigs, just like that, simple as pie. So you pull out a few of those, as many as you want, and you can put some more in, wherever you want them. Okay, and then you can have some up here if you like. You can pull it through black too if you like. If you want to pull it through black and brown and a bit of white, then you can add some more. Have some shadows. Just wiggle it around a little bit. And I'm going to call this finished, and you can play around with yours and see what other thing you might want to add. A fence, but I didn't get around to doing that. So we just have our little sticks and twigs. Just pull up a few little twigs and sticks. And that I'm going to call finished, and you have a great painting day, and hopefully this helped, and we'll do another video soon. Talk to you later from Allison Prior.